Director of photography is a conduit between the above-the-line people and the below-the-line people. I'm a conduit for the director's vision into a practical end result.
This is one of my most satisfying jobs, is to tick off and cross off storyboards that we've done. And
relationships between directors and cameramen develop in pre-production, and the relationship that Andrew and I share on this film is very collaborative and a very positive one. The attitude and, I guess, the flavour of the set is really dictated by the director and who they are and how they choose to lead. In Andrew's case, you know, he's a really nice man and he's very collaborative, and I think that everyone feels that they can contribute, and he tends not to have a dominant managerial style. You know, there's kind of a kind of a fun feeling on the set, but that's all brought through his sort of spirit, that's born out as a reflection of his spirit and who he is. And I find the character of a film develops over the making of the film. Yes, you can have preordained idea about, you know, the art direction and the costuming and the lensing and the lighting. But as films develop, they also take on a character, and that dictates the way that the shots are covered and the scenes are covered. And so I think there's this kind of wonderful organic thing that happens as well as all the pre-planned. We're photographing this film on the Panavision Genesis system, which is essentially big chip HD. This is my third film using the digital medium. I hasten to say that I don't think film is dead by any stretch of the imagination, but I think projects lean towards different modes of acquisition, and we felt that digitally we could bring all we needed to it, and being largely set interior and at night, I could control the contrast ratios. It seemed like a good idea for budgetary reasons, and also it supported the look of the film. I made a creative choice to use atmospheric effects in this film to try and bring some more depth to the images. So we used kind of smoke and haze and rain and fog. Atmosphere, it's called. You know, it's bringing atmosphere to otherwise two-dimensional kind of feeling shots. I mean, that's the way I guess I bring depth to a shot, and I find it a very useful tool as a lighting tool. You know, I think it's really easy to bounce a light off the ceiling, but if that's not really where the film was headed in the beginning, then I think you have to create an atmosphere with the lighting, and I use the special effects department to help with that.
25, 8, 2, 5.
That's the doctor. Tell him I want my uterus back.
One of the big negatives of digital acquisition is the electronic viewfinders, and having shot most of my career looking through optical viewfinders available on film cameras, I can't stand the digital viewfinder because it's subjective in the way that you can set it up. You can change the contrast, the brightness and the colour, and none of these things are real, as in looking at an optical image. So I choose not to look through the viewfinder, and I operate via a remote head sitting at a 24-inch CRT monitor. The remote head is controlled by pan and tilt wheels that are placed in front of the monitor, and the grip, the focus puller and I communicate via our own link and coordinate the getting of the shot, if you like. Digital acquisition has its limitations, certainly. I mean, it's not film. Film is a superior medium, there's no question about it. It has a great latitude, and quite frankly you can be more brutal with it and it'll look good. Whereas the digital medium, you have to finesse it and caress it to some extent. And if you're prepared to do both those things, which takes work, if you're prepared to work on it, then you can get very pleasing results.
B12.
My Dougie was such a big help through everything. I don't know what it would have done.
Yeah, having an assembly editor on set is an absolute luxury. And so we leave every scene knowing that we've got all the pieces, and I think today are doing our first pickup from the whole movie. So, that's a very powerful tool to have.
I'm doing video split and playback for Accidents Happen. Got the high def feeds coming into down converters, recorded into Capture Magic with 2 cameras or into Final Cut Pro.
One of the nice things for me is that I don't have to watch rushes at the end of the day.
The doofus up there with the little balls.
You certainly go home knowing what you've got or what you haven't got. And that's a wonderful empowerment. I think this is a lovely little relationship film, and it's unlike other things that I've done. You watch the development of the characters throughout the film and their arc, and I was excited by that journey in this film, and quite frankly, the way it ties up in the end scene I think is really gorgeous. I've been in the film business for 22 years, and I've loved every minute of it, and I don't intend to do anything else.